Home and school curriculum. Cultural influences on the educational practice of students impact numerous facets in education, learning. Communication styles. Some cultures might highlight straight communication while others might stress indirect and nonverbal clues. It is very important to know the difference and imperative for effective classroom management and pupil engagement. There's learning preferences. Scholars from collectivism beliefs may succeed in group situations, whereas those from individuals' background may desire independent jobs. And then there's value and beliefs. Those with these standards form how scholars identify learning and their roles inside the educational setting, excuse me. Parental involvement. In certain cultures, parents are extremely involved in their kids' education, whereas others might take a more hands off approach. Now we're going to talk about culturally knowledgeable educators who primarily require educators to look inward at their own cultural uniqueness, which includes any prejudice and rights they may have. Being aware in the classroom can lead to criticizing formerly held views and forming new, more all encompassing ones. And then there's cultural competence, which refers to the ability of educators to understand, communicate with effectively, interact with students from diverse cultural backgrounds. And this, its role in the instruction of English learners includes understanding diversity, building relationships, adapting to curriculum. And next, we're going to talk about integrating the cultural values and beliefs of ELs in teaching and learning can enhance their educational experience. Strategies include culturally relevant pedagogy, inclusive curriculum, um, encourage sharing, collaborative learning, respect, and acknowledge. And culturally responsive teaching means using students' customs, characteristic experiences, and perspectives as tools for better classroom instruction. And next, I'm going to talk about cultural significance, which impacts student learning by shaping a student's values, beliefs, communication styles, and approaches to learning. It influences how students engage with education, interact with teachers and peers, and impacts their academic success. And and as classroom environment and fluid language acquisitions, having an encouraging, inclusive setting where scholars feel appreciated and supported to speak is necessary for language development. Establishing an all-encompassing atmosphere, encompass, um, encompassing identifying scholars' diversity, endorsing multilingualism, and supplying provisions for language learners, and encouraging a sense of belonging. And school and classroom environments influence acquisition language by supporting environment, encouraging interaction, visual aids and resources, and cultural sensitivity. And some of and what are some of the strategies for supporting and celebrating cultural diversity within instruction? Strategies that show appreciation when making sincere accommodation, in addition to recognizing the similarities and differences among students' ethnicities, being effective teachers of culturally diverse students, acknowledging every scholar's distinct and social differences excitedly, as well as recognizing these variances in a positive way. Social skills such as respect and cross cultural empathy can be shaped, instilled, and prompted and reinforced by the teacher. And one of the best strategies is building a relationship with your students. And next, we're going to talk, and then developing and understanding lives also enables a teacher to increase the relevance of lessons and making examples more meaningful. Next, we're going to talk about leveraging home language and cultural assets, and educators can employ tactics such as integrating bilingual materials, forming opportunities for trans languaging, and promoting a culturally receptive classroom environment. This involves respecting scholars' previous knowledge, commemorating cultural events, and developing solid connections with families to bridge the gap between school and home. And next, we're going to talk about supporting the needs of English learners in the classroom. As educators, we must execute a mixture of differentiated instructions, ethnically receptive instruction, and personalized support. And this involves applying visual scaffolding and assistive technology in addition to promoting a warm and all encompassing classroom atmosphere that praises the diverse personalities and strengths. Um, and some of the opportunities and approaches to meet the social emotional needs of English learners are making social emotional learning both a regular part of the schedule or part of each academic class, provide more hands-on learning experiences, share relevant human experience, and create opportunities for student feedback. And next, we're going to talk about and how research shows that SEL not only enhances attainment by an average 11%, but it also enhances pro-social mannerisms, which is kindness, sharing, empathy, and thus improving student opinions towards school-wide reducing sadness and anxiety among scholars. And that was DeLark 2011. And next, we're going to talk about how school and connection, how family and community practices influence language. And this is done by preparing a strong cultural framework, presenting precise language exposure, and encouraging enthusiasm and support. These procedures, which embrace a family and society, oh my goodness, mess up. Family and society's diverse, distinctive expertise and practices can be leveraged to improve language attainment and ability. Oh my God, I'm at the end. This is messing up. Um, and and then we're going to talk about strategies that include focusing on honest interaction, joint decision making, and establish accepting spaces. Additionally, communicating must often be involved in school events and linking with community organizations for sources and backing. And now we're going to talk about effective family engagement practices that support, highlight, and assets of home languages. Um, Effective family engagement practices include bilingual interaction, family literacy opportunities, and cultural festivities. These exercises promote a sense of belonging, endorse language growth, and inspire active family involvement in the kids' schooling. And some of the community engagement practices include connecting with um, distinctive, objective audiences by communicating in ways they could clearly reach, accepting unified engagement techniques, addressing and mitigating any individual or projected based hesitation, engage with each group as equals, and take a particular approach to outreach and facilitating partaking in familiar surroundings. An all encompassing community engagement exercise include powerfully involving every community member in the decision making process, guaranteeing distinct voices are examined and cherished, and design opportunities for significant participation. And this consists of modifying communication techniques, offering easy to use platform, and encouraging belief through transparency. Thank you.